Thank you for joining us for another insightful episode of Creatives Chat, featuring Eric Floyd. Join us as we chat about who knows what and why. Click the subscribe button to be notified of future episodes and join our Facebook group. The link is in the comments section below. Our show shall begin now. Streaming from Retro Earth Studio and brought to you by wearehistorically.com, Conscious Human Apparel, and
Learn to play jazz piano like a pro, by a pro, with Jazz Piano Pro Essentials at jazzpianopro.com.
hello, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Creatives Chat. I'm Rusty.
I'm Peter.
And Peter, tell us who's on our show today.
Our guest enjoys family, food, meaningful work, and good vibed people. He has a degree in humanities, concentration in business, and a minor in entrepreneurship and innovation. He helps at-risk youth. He's worked in sales. He's got marketing and branding on point, event production, management, consulting, and so much more. We have Eric Patterson Floyd.
All right, everybody, meet Eric.
Oh, my brother Eric, I'm so excited to have you on the show today, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm excited too. What's going on? Yes.
So I think the one thing that I really just want to start to highlight is we went to O'Day. We have that brotherhood connection, but we honestly, like most people in time, we didn't reconnect until fast forward 6-7 years in our life. And it was last year around Christmas time, I was co-hosting an ugly sweater party / fundraiser for Cozy Collections as we were collecting clothes for the community, and we got a chance to finally reconnect, and it's a fellow person that's all about self-mastery. So I'm excited to get deep with you in those waters of knowing. But I guess to really start off, what would you like to say as your pitch to the listeners of why they should start to tap in with Eric Patterson Floyd?
Tap in with me because I will help you tap in with yourself. Straight up, like you said, self-mastery, everybody has a winning hand. It's just that some people have more plays than other people. So it's about strategizing and just putting your best foot forward, and I'm going to be real with you. I'm that friend that's not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you like it is. You got a booger in your nose, you got a booger in your nose. We got a stain, you need to iron your shirt, you got something in your teeth, whatever. We're going to keep it 100 here to be our best selves.
Ooh, that's the elevator pitch of a lifetime, man. I love it.
Man.
And I guess that's the start of it right there is when did you get into this work of really kind of combining entrepreneurship, innovation, and kind of really just human services?
That's a good question. I started young, with the entrepreneurship thing. We didn't grow up, in like a third world country or anything, because I definitely don't want to make it seem like, it's that hard. Because I really don't think that I had it that hard, but it was at the time in the current moment. And so having that, when I understood the value of, money and the tool it was, I had my toys I didn't play with anymore. I would sell it. My dad always, is doing yard sales and stuff like that, secondhand flipping. And so I had an early on, infatuation with that. So do that, Pokemon cards, basketball cards, stuff like that. And so I did that, and I grew up, man, and my parents actually aren't very privy to a lot of the details on this, but low key, super slick with it. But grew up, my mom knows more so, making bad decisions, poor decisions, and being around people that I guess per se live the fast life, however you want to put it. And so I ended up going to a leadership program that really changed my perspective. And fast forward, went to Seattle University, and I started working with at-risk youth, kids, whether it's education, home, they're in gangs or whatever. And I just wanted to give back in that realm. And so doing that and realizing, man, this nonprofit work is great, but I'm not really going to get the paper to do my nonprofit thing and experience being in these roles. It's slim chance to be an ED of something without having a master's in social work or an MPA or something like that. So I went the white collar route, shifted gears there. And so now I'm working heavily. Well, I work remotely with my job, which I'm hoping to retire out of. If my boss is watching this, oh well, bro, like, that's the plan. If you want to collaborate outside, we can. But so I'm working with these other projects to kind of combine all of those, like you said, those aspects of my life, and monetize it, but also enjoy what I'm doing, man.
Ooh.
And who I'm doing it with.
Ooh, that's an important one, man. And I think it's the networking and honestly finding people that resonate with your spirit, resonate with your energy, and ultimately like your vision and mission with life. And that's something I find that you have a really big skill in. So when did you really get into this understanding that it's like, oh man, I can connect people and uplift everybody?
Ooh, that also was like fairly early. I have a lot of friends, like growing up, we have a solid, maybe like what, 10 guy group, a
Yeah,
couple women in there too. But I knew all of them separately, but introduced them slowly. And I mean, man, some of them guys are closer friends than me and the guys I introduced now, and so, that's when I started to realize like I could bring people together. I have the ability to say, oh, these people are compatible. Let's try this. It doesn't always work, but seeing that was always good because it doesn't always have to be, me or you,
yeah.
the other people. Why not, interconnect? And
Well,
so
it's
that's always been something I've been interested in.
I love that. And it's the selfless nature of just trying to actually help people and see where they're at. But I find that it takes a very keen observer to really connect the dots like that. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's like when we reconnected as adults, because I mean, like high school is high school. You're always going through your own stuff. Everyone has their own life. And, we play different sports and all this other stuff. But when we were able to actually reconnect at that fundraiser party, it was incredible just to see the value and recognition that you had in realness. And that's where I was like, ooh, real recognizes real. I feel it. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta tap in with this dude. How's it
Yes.
going? And that's again, it comes back to that point where it's like you're a keen observer. So it's like, where did you practice and hone that vision and that eye for yourself of just tapping into the objective and the flow?
Bro, the observation, man, like being with the shit, bro. You never know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like when you're doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing, and I'm trying to keep it, politically correct or whatever. But when you're doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing, you have a natural tendency to, watch your back, bro. See what
yeah,
people are doing, watch their behavior, watch their hands, watch their eyes, watch what they say, and then watch what they do after they said that.
yeah,
And kind of, get to know people and ask questions. And like you said, just observe, bro. And I think that's where it was, just literally uh, uh, trying to stay alive,
yeah,
turned into, living life, in a more deeper way.
yeah.
So I wouldn't change anything, I think that, like you said, where I'm at right now, I needed to go through the things I went through to be who I am. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. So, man, thanks for helping me flesh that out. You're sick, bro. Oh,
Thanks,
man.
yo. It's the natural habits though of, I find that because myself, it's like whatever childhood you had, whatever you grew up with, it provides you a certain set of skills. And you feel like Liam Neeson, like I have a certain set of skills and I will get it done. I will find this. But
Yep.
it allows you to really just tap into the presentness, like the flow, this moment called now. And that's the stuff that I picked up on you, where it's the subtleties of people's behaviors that I also kind of like, oh, that's kind of like a red flag, or like that's a neon light that's a green go. Let's get it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah. You got to read them and go with it and
And
trust
so
that.
that's it right there. You got to trust it. So when someone goes through, a life that's filled with adversity and you go through different cycles of, like chaotic living and you still have that
Wait,
self-trust.
and let me be clear. My parents are fucking great, bro. My parents are
Yeah.
awesome. It was all me being ignorant. My parents, I'm sorry, they're kind of squares, bro. And so they would tell me things from a perspective. I'm like, bro, you don't know anything about that, And so I would go, and then growing up, I realized, like, okay, they grew up in High Point projects. My mom and my dad grew up in, not Vista, excuse me. I'm tripping. Yester Terrace,
Oh, yeah.
So they know a little bit. They just chose not to go that path for obvious reasons. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't listen because I'm here now. But if I would have, man, I'd probably be like, the mayor or something.
Well, see, that's the stuff that I really do recognize with, the kindred spirits and this type of healer. Again, like you do a lot of humanity work. You're a service unto humanity, as I like to think about it. And
Yes.
that's the magic sauce that you have to kind of go through that trial by fire to really learn all the lessons you need to. And that point of acceptance and just coming back to trust yourself again, like so many people get caught up in the suffering they live and they don't turn it into power.
Yes. Man. Yeah. Pain is weakness leaving the body, right?
Facts. And I guess that's the next statement for you is like, where did you really transition and turn all this suffering and all just like the wildlife, the things you shouldn't have been doing? How did you turn that into your power?
Man, it started my first night of college. It started, bro. My first night of college, I'm laying there, and I was on an immersion trip. So, I was in the room by myself. My roommate wasn't there yet. They didn't move until Saturday. It was Thursday night, my first night there. And bro, I laid there and I cried, bro. I was like,
Wow.
bro, I'm here. All my homies is out, dealing with whatever, and I'm in here in college right now, bro. You know what?
Mm.
That's crazy. And it's always been the path. College has always been the path, bro. I've always been, into the studies and stuff. Like I'm in the
Yeah.
street, bro, but I did my homework before, dog. You
Yeah.
know, you know what I mean. So it was kind of like, man, like I feel like I'm letting folks down, but then I realized, like, after
Wow.
all the ignorant tears, I was like, bro, I'm where I'm supposed to be right now, man, and I'm gonna do the best I can. And it's been a slow path, bro. I mean, I'm still not, nobody's perfect, but I mean, I'm still not all the way where I want to be as a man. But that's when it started. The shift started when I realized, bro, this life's not for me, bro. This
Wow.
this hella dumb. Straight up, bro. Like, dog, really, bro. Like, could have been dead multiple times, bro. Could have been in
Yeah.
prison multiple times, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think about. Like now, I've come a long way on the path to where I think, like, man, that's crazy right now. But at the time, bro, I'm like, this is life. This is how it is. So yeah, man, college and then just experiencing the kids, man, working with the kids, bro, was a huge experience, man. SYVPI, man. Seattle Youth Violence Prevention Initiative is what it was. I think they changed what it is now since I left. But there are three networks: the Southeast Network, South Seattle, out of Vista; the Central
Mm.
Network, which is where I worked out of the Promenade, man. Shout out Red Apple with the catfish sandwiches, bro. RIP. Uh, and then the Southwest Network out of Southwest Youth and Family Services out there in West Seattle. And those are the three hubs that we had, bro. And the experience there
Mm.
working with, the kids especially, man, getting in the roots, the bottom, and just really
Yeah.
working that was good, bro. Working directly with them. And then learning from the community members, bro, the community leaders, learning how to
Mm.
move, learning how to resource, learning who to talk to, how to talk, how to do things, bro. It was very enlightening, bro, and I think that helped shape me as well and move me
Oof.
further down that path.
Ooh, so much of that, yo. Like, well, I guess let's first talk with the working with the youth, the power in just observing the little manifestations that you see in kids that just lead to like grown adults that are just still those little hurt grown children is probably one of the most eye-opening things for anyone that gets a chance to work with kids.
Exactly, bro. It's the same person, man. It's just more experience. But how do you shape those experiences, though, bro, is the key, man. Like,
Yeah.
really, really having that guidance, there. It can't be like, oh, I did a program one time, and then what about the other months that the program's not going on? You do summer work all summer, or at least like what, 2 months out the summer, and then you got a whole month of summer to do whatever you want. You got the whole rest of the school year, do whatever you want, bro. It's about those relationships, and that's what I'm trying to do down the road. Is really work with folks, young adults, that want something, that don't necessarily have the resources or know how to do it, but have the willpower to do it, man. And we could talk more offline because it's kind of like, this idea I've been holding and molding and stuff. But definitely, I think I've talked to you about this maybe a little bit. I don't know, outside.
Oh yeah, we'll have to chop shop in the green room.
But yeah, man, definitely want to work with younger adults, man. But right now, I'm working with mostly peers, older folks, making things happen in different capacities.
I love it. And I think that's something right there where it's just to touch back on the working with community leaders, when you see the different viewpoints and perspectives of the older generation and just how they saw that kind of civil work and kind of building up the community. It's a whole different type of grind than a lot of like the temporary like street hustles that we have now. But there's such a correlation to people who like to do the simple hustles in life to doing really great like entrepreneurship business building. Like there's such an overlap. And I feel you on that with like the youth. It's like if we can connect the bridge and like really build the mentality right, we can transform generations like that.
Bro, right. Like, remember that you guys came before us. You either raised us or we were looking up to you. Quit talking to us like we don't know what we're doing, bro. Like, you guys were the examples. Don't forget that you were there first. All respect given to you because you guys paved the way.
Yeah.
But like you said, connecting the right way, bro. Being curious. Like, why do you
Yeah.
think that way? Oh, because I have trauma from this and that, or whatever. It all stems from trauma. Some type of trauma. All of our issues stem from that, bro. There's really
Yeah.
nothing else because we come out innocent. The reason people
Exactly.
start getting fucked up is because something fucked up happened, or unexpected. They weren't ready
Yeah.
to handle it,
Yeah.
like their parents didn't train them to handle that. Like 18-year-olds who haven't had the birds and the bees talk, bro. Come on, man.
Right. Right.
Put a condom on, bro.
I was well into the game when that talk was attempted, and it wasn't even. And it never went. And
Yo,
it never really went down because of it. I was like, "Come on,
like,
man."
bro. Okay, come on. Let me tell you something.
You'd be
Yeah, bro.
mind blown what people be doing nowadays.
Oh
Like,
man, I don't even want to know, bro, because I know how active I was as a kid,
yeah,
and literally a kid, bro. Like, what the fuck, dog, But
yeah,
but it's nothing against the parents. It's like, bro, I knew my mom got off at 5:30, bro. She'll be home at 6,
yeah.
And
You
this
got
is
a
probably something
window.
that Rusty's gonna have to take out. But it's like I got this window, bro. By 5:30, if you're not gone, I'm rolling the dice. I'm rolling the dice. But that type of working hard, trying to provide for her family, bro, opened up this window of opportunity, bro. Like you said, the
Yeah,
window of opportunity, and it's nothing on her. It's just like maybe if parents realize that their nurturing can turn into other things if they don't
yeah,
watch it. Like music I was listening to. I'm listening to Mac Dre, bro.
yeah.
In middle
Classic, man.
school, you know, like slapping that, bro, talking about Izzles and pimping and robbing and all of this. Come on, man. What do you
Oh,
expect? What
I
do you
feel it.
expect is
I
gonna
mean,
happen?
I'm one of those. I guess you would say wild spirits who would actually ghost ride the web quite frequently. And this is a little bit way too much than necessary, and I should have. And I'm always very grateful that like nothing bad happened. But
Right.
I think that's the thing right there is, I love that approach where you have to see the balance behind it, where it's like nurturing versus that nature aspect, where it's like, you have to go through that trial by fire. And I think that's the point of,
Yeah.
curious spirits like yourself is that if you're not being challenged in certain ways, intellectually, spiritually, it's going to start to manifest itself in some other process.
Mm,
And when you're like, okay, well, this is flashy. I want to see what this is all about. You dive deep and
mhm.
get into it.
Hey man, if you guys aren't rocking, I'm gonna share the mess out of this video, bro. If y'all ain't rocking with Peter, man, look, man, he's gonna change your life. This guy is deep, bro. His questions are coming into my soul, and they're pulling these things out, bro. This is, yeah, man. Watching it is not the same as being in it. Like I'm feeling like I'm in the most comfortable hot seat ever.
I love it, man. Well, again, it's the mutual respect that I have for you because ultimately when someone takes the courageous path and looks within and like, okay, well, they analyze their life. How can I empower myself from this? How can I grow from this? It's such a next level perspective that I always appreciate and love because you're not getting caught up in your drama and chaos. It's learning how to make it a power. It's learning how to, transform that suffering into a strength. So,
Yes.
you've been doing the work that's necessary in this world, and I'm just super excited to see where you keep going with it.
Man, oh man, me too, man. I'm sure that paths are going to continue to converge, man, and intertwine for sure, man. But like you said, deflect. You gotta deflect. You gotta deflect, man. The energy, either deflect it or absorb it into something for you.
Mm.
You know, like being somebody that I've never been diagnosed, bro, but I'm pretty sure I've suffered from depression, bro. I'm pretty sure. Like If you
Oh
want to
yeah.
argue with somebody that's saying that, then go ahead and be that guy, be that girl, right? But but I'm obviously not somebody that's suffering on a daily basis, which I truly hope
Yeah.
that people like that. I have close family members that deal with that, and I pray for you know a solution for that. But I think that when you really realize that life is just, I mean, I believe it's a really binary. It's a series of two choices, happy, sad,
Mm.
like literally right here, bro. I have a whole bunch of like sticky notes and papers and stuff. It says, just smile, right? Just smile. If you can't, why are you choosing to suffer?
Facts. No, I
You
love it.
know? And if you're literally depressed, bro, because I've had days where I looked at this and I was like, fuck, I can't smile right now. And why
Mm.
do I choose to suffer? Then I get deeper and I'm like, oh, I'm suffering because there's that thing that was bothering me and I didn't say
Mm.
anything about it, or this thing that's been on my mind and I didn't, bring it up to the person, and you figure out why you're suffering, and then you'll be able to dig the smile out. But it's figuring out why, not just like, oh, I'm depressed, so I'm just gonna be,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
See.
Choose. That's why I say make it a great day, bro. People say have a good day. I'm not gonna take what the day is gonna give me. I don't want to have that, bro. I'm gonna make this shit. What are you talking about?
Right.
That's that's why I say make it a great day, bro. Mold that shit. If you want to make a bad day, bro, go make a bad day then, bro. Have your worst day
Yeah.
ever. But if you want to make it a great day, like most of us do, I'm pure sure that most of us want to have a great day. That's
Yeah.
99.99%. Uh,
Oh yeah.
that we want to make it a great day. Just make it. Remind yourself.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it comes back to what you're saying. Like, you have a choice, and it's that crossroads. Are you going to accept that energy, or are you going to deflect it? Like, how many people out there let one person of like 15 seconds spoil their entire day? Like, you might be up for like 12, 16, 18, some people 20 hours, and you're going to
Yes.
let that like 10 seconds disturb your peace?
Yep.
Like, you're giving away the keys to your kingdom.
Yep, exactly. And that's what's helped me, because I used to I've been to anger management for years, bro, as a kid. And
Yeah.
it worked, and I have these tools, but I heard like something similar to what you said is if people can make you angry, then you're easily manipulated. And I said,
Ooh.
first of all, I'm not easily manipulated.
How
Second
dare
of
you?
all, you're right. So it made me say, bro, like, why am I getting mad at these people? But it stems from that old behavior where it's like, bro, I'll sock
Yeah.
you in your shit, bro. I'll do something to you if you disrespect me. But now
Yeah.
it's like, bro, you're disrespecting me, bro. What's wrong with you? No, last time somebody disrespected me, bro, I said, are you okay? Like, you having a bad
Ooh.
day? They said, bro, and it ended up being they were having a shitty day, bro, and really just wanted to vent and have somebody to talk to, bro. And yeah, so
I love that, because
yeah.
that to me is, when you really do live compassionately, and you seek to not assume other people's states of existence, and you just ask questions like that, you open so many floodgates and doorways of opportunity, of healing, of mutual understanding, of just upliftment and empowerment. So, whew, no, I love that, man. That's great work.
Man, bro, thank you. I don't know. I don't like conflict, bro. I read The Art of War, man. Shout out Papa
Classic.
Randy. He had us reading that in the O-Day book club. And bro, the best way to win a
Love it.
war is to not fight,
Yeah.
bro. And when you've been fighting for so long, that's you get tired, bro.
That's the stuff that really breaks my heart, because there's such easy solutions when you actually have the courage to look within and ask yourself these deeper questions.
Yeah.
You dissolve your own pain, and then you build those bridges of understanding.
Dissolve your own pain and build those bridges of understanding. Are you writing a book, bro?
Yeah, I got a few of the work.
Good, good.
Well, I mean, I think the one thing is, it comes to the point where like you don't get to this level of understanding or even appreciation for those types of little nuggets, unless you have the practice and honed your ability of introspection. So like, when did you gain
Mm.
this skill of, like, I mean, have you always had it, like a pattern recognition of just seeing things differently, that objective viewpoint, like the total image? Where did that come from with you?
I'm an Aries, bro. So when somebody tells me something, I'm like, okay, let me run this through my filter real quick. Because
Mm,
I've always filter things through that. Just make sure it works for me. Like I take everybody's advice. I take it. I don't necessarily act on it. I'll think about it. Like how can I
Yeah.
use this if at all, and how would I use it? Like if somebody, like I'm in sales on my day job, bro. They give you the dialogue. I look at the dialogue and then I'll write my own dialogue based on like the framework of what they want me to say, because that's not me. And then eventually I don't even use it. I don't even
Yeah.
use the script, right? I just kind of just do what's natural for me, because it's easier to communicate to people from my perspective.
Yeah.
It's harder to act, you know?
Yeah.
So just trying to live an easier life. That's how it happened.
Mm.
That's how it happened.
Interesting. Well, and that's something that's funny right there, is because people usually think that this stuff is so hard, but ultimately, when you come back to like this inner truth, it's really just you expressing that truth itself, just you being your most genuine self.
Yes, exactly. Super easy. You don't got to think about anything. And that's why I break it down to binary, because I have problems making decisions. Like I hate how they say, oh, the girl never knows what she wants to eat. I don't know where I want to eat, bro. Like, oh, we could go anywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, you don't even know what cuisine you want? Oh, damn,
Existential crisis mode.
bro.
Like,
Trying to figure it out. Like, bro, we got food in the fridge. You should really just go downstairs and cook something at the house, But even then, it's like, oh my gosh, what do I pick? So binary, it's like, all right, do you want crunchy or soft? Do you want savory or sweet? Do you
yeah.
want hot or cold? Break it down in these binary things. It's just like an
Mm.
onion of two decisions. That's how I simplify things. That's how I tell people to simplify things. I'm giving away this free game. You're welcome. Uh, but yeah, bro. Just make it easy.
Yeah.
Work
And I
smarter, not harder.
right there. Well, and that's the thing, is a lot of people usually see that as you have to shortcut something else. Like you have to do it at the expense of something. But really it's just
Right.
I see it as an operation of efficiency. It's just like, no, life is super, this grand, wild fractal of life is really just built upon like what you're saying, those few different choices, and it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. But ultimately the rules of the game are super simple. Like super simple.
Yes, yes, bro. I can't wait till people read your book and figure that out. I also like one of the stickies I have here is 400 trillion to 1, and that is
Mm.
the chances of us being born conceived. You know, 400
Wow.
trillion to 1, bro. If you're not cherishing this existence, oh, you're taking something for granted, my guy, my girl, my
Yo.
my person, straight up to everyone. Because
Yeah.
I'm an A in the LGBTQA, so I had to make sure that I shouted out the theys too, like on a serious note. It's just, man, just respecting people's boundaries, bro.
Yeah.
Whether you understand things or not, bro, respect somebody's boundary. They put their boundary up, respect it, bro.
Mm.
That's
Exactly.
that's it. That's it. I got my own opinions. So do they. Everybody has their own opinions. Welcome to life. 400 trillion
Right.
to 1. But I bet you 1 out of 1 got their own opinions.
Exactly. And that's the really unfortunate thing, is, you actually have to learn how to listen to other people. And so many people, they don't really hear them. They say they're listening, but I think that's one of those things too, where it's like we get so conditioned that we have to apply ourselves to decondition this understanding of what we know as hearing or listening. Like most people's association with listening is school. And it's like, how many people are always checking out when, the professor, the teacher, whatever the instructor is, when they're teaching, and they're always just thinking their own thoughts. Or when someone asks you a question, you're just thinking of your own answer the whole time when they're telling their story. Or they have the ego stuff where they're trying to one up. So it's like just being able to actually create that space to hear someone,
Yeah,
easier said than done.
it's funny you say hear, I say listen, because I feel like hearing is just like it's the sense, the audible. Listening
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
intentional. But we could talk about that. I mean, I'm interested in having a conversation about why you're using hear and why I use listen. Am I wrong? Are we
yeah.
both right? Like,
Oh yeah.
but does it matter? No. Because I understood what you meant, bro.
Exactly.
Why are we
Exactly.
slicing things down, bro? Like, as long as you understand the communication, I feel like that's good. And I think that people will like try to dive into things that really don't matter, bro. Superficial things, surface area things. That's like, bro, we could
Yeah.
have talked about the here and listen. And genuinely, at first, I wanted to ask you that, but it's like, bro, I understood what he said. Why does that matter? Let's not waste time. It's been communicated.
Exactly. Well, it
No.
comes back to that point where people usually just tend to have this combative approach to existence. And it comes
Mm,
back to what you were saying in terms of, even just people being in like states of anger or just frustration or depression is that, it comes back to that choice where it's, you have a choice with how to handle anything. And most of the time when in my experience at least is any question I've had, when I had that feeling to want to interject and I just silenced that and just listened, heard, it got resolved because then again that creates the space for them to continue their point. Like how many times in my
yeah.
life has someone interrupted me and I've been like, I'm gonna get to that. Like
Yeah.
this
I
is
was just about
how I talk. It's good. I paint a scene.
yeah.
So
Yo.
but that right there, the aspect of gratitude, 400 trillion to one, that's when you really do quantify it like that, that's wild.
It's
That's
wild.
wild.
It's wild, bro. Look, it's crazy. But like you said, bro, it's chance, dog. Like you gotta take every moment, bro. What are the odds? First of all, my sister's higher odds for me to exist because my sister's birthday is the 26th, right?
Hmm.
So, I mean, 7 years after me. But my mom, something about them fireworks, bro. You know what I mean? So the fact that our parents chose that moment, bro, is a blessing because it could have been anything, bro. Like how the body works, bro. The
Yeah.
fact that we made it out, made it up, made it in, bro, is like, and I hate to be graphic, but I will have to be graphic for you to
Yeah,
realize, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's been a struggle from the beginning, and maybe that's where the conflict is at, innate in us. It's like it's been a struggle from the very jump, bro. Literally, to get
Yeah,
there. And now we're
yeah.
here, and I mean, childbirth, I mean, I don't think it's like the easiest thing, right? Like I have no personal experience, right? But there's that struggle, but that's also like, bro, I also tell people it's like if you wish, like I'm like, what would you wish for? Oh, I'd wish for no chaos. I'd wish for happiness. You know, like, bro, you wish for all of that shit, and it's all gonna leave, bro. If there's no sorrow,
Yeah,
bro, you wouldn't even understand what happiness is. If there's no pain, you'd never understand what pleasure is, bro. It would just
yeah,
be just this mundane, just like drab
yeah.
existing. Like people
Oh
just,
yeah.
you got to have both.
Yes, and that's the issue where I feel so many people don't recognize this. It's like an age-old saying. It's, there's great suffering and wealth, or there is great wealth and suffering, and there is great suffering and wealth. And it's that understanding where, it takes everything in this world, like we live in this dualistic world of that, those choices, the love, the fear, the pleasure, the pain, and we don't actually recognize the importance of that journey,
The
and I really
mind,
like
the
it.
body.
Yeah, and it comes back to that point of conflict. Like life is all about conflict. We grow through conflict. We learn, we understand through all these different conflicts in our own experience, but it
Yeah,
doesn't mean it needs to be combative. It doesn't mean it
yeah,
needs to be something that you get so caught up on and like sorrowed by because it's how you literally are here right now. Like I would be so unfortunately ignorant like honestly, like if I didn't go through all the trials and tribulations that I went through or have a little trial by fire in my life, because it's those lessons that I gained from the experience that made me the man that I am today. And like
mhm.
it's beautiful to see someone who like goes through a journey as well and then still has that heart of gold at the end of it, because that's how you know it was really sincere.
Man, I'm trying, bro. Always had the heart of gold, bro, but Cass was just ignorant, like you said, man. Like, bro, yeah, yeah, ignorant. And I have no problem with the word ignorant. I used to have a problem with it, but it just means you just don't know yet.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
ignorant in some things right now.
Right. Well, that's again the sensitivity that people have gotten so crazily like obsessed with is every little thing becomes a trigger. And it's what you were saying earlier about like, like if you're allowing someone to like disturb your peace, like you're easily manipulated.
Yeah,
Kind of see a
bro.
lot of society at that point right now.
Oh, like almost all of society, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how they figured out a way to make notifications release dopamine, bro. Like when you
Mm.
get a video view, when you get a like, when you get a share, when you get a comment, like dopamine's actually released. We weren't born with that. We
Yeah.
weren't born with social media, you know, we're that generation, right? We used to ride our
Yeah.
bikes. Kids, go out, ride your bikes, play outside.
Come
Jesus,
back when the
well,
street lights off or
yeah,
turns
right.
on.
I'm sure you better, or
Yeah.
boy, you better get back before the street lights. No, but but yeah, man, it's lost my train of thought. We looked outside for a second, and I was like, oh man, there's an eagle.
Oh man, I
I
mean,
love birds of prey.
that's all funny. Well, it comes back to that point of really coming to understand the journey of where you're at and where you come from, and just that you have to go through these different adversities to really make yourself the being you are. And
Yeah,
everyone's so sensitive nowadays that they're so easily triggered, and the dopamine fixes of the social medias and all that.
right, right. Easily triggered, man. Yeah, I'm not in my personal life. I still don't adhere to that stuff. I'm just me. If you talk to me in person, you're either gonna like me or you're not,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna respect your boundaries first and foremost. But I don't know what your boundaries are until you tell me. So I'm just gonna be me. And I've had people literally be like, "Bro, I rock with you, but what you just said right there, bro, I can't, I can't do that." So okay, my bad. I won't say that again around you you
Yeah.
know and it works. But also that
Mm.
understanding that you're talking about earlier was something, but you're on a good one, so I don't want to say anything. Is that all right? Like you said, you catch the vibe, right? Like, okay, cool, we got to connect for sure. But when
Yeah.
you are with somebody, like, I'm the type of person that I want to make it work, but if there's somebody I'm just not compatible with, bro, I've learned to just be like, to agree with that person, like, look, we're not compatible. Like, I don't rock with you, honestly. We're not in synchronicity. What's the word?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable, feels forced.
Mm.
And to be able to say that to somebody is huge too, because I always want to say, okay, look, but I know somebody that I think that you would click with. I know somebody
Mm.
that I think would work well with your workflow, with your mindset. Don't always shut the door completely. Don't be
Yeah.
an asshole about it. Just be real, but solution based. You know,
Mm.
and try to find a happy medium for everybody.
Yeah, that solution-based aspect too, where it's like, hey, I might not mess with you right now, but I know someone who might. Like, just having that compassion, it's selflessness, man. And that's like, it's so cool to hear that, because it's such a small practice that people could do, because it's really just love. Like, setting boundaries for yourself is like one of the most utmost practices of love, and being like, no, you're not the type of being that I need to be around or that I want to be around. And that's a conscious choice on my end, take
Hmm.
that or leave it. But it's just
Right.
wild to see the generation coming up and the influences that they have, like what you were saying about, like, we're not designed to have these likes and things turned into this dopamine fix, where they're also idolizing all these people who are just using different marketing strategies, paid promotions, doing all these different, oh yes, of course things look great on the outside when you have good photos or videos, but like, how are they really when they're not edited, when they're not, when these people, I guess you'd say, aren't on camera.
Unfiltered,
Yeah.
literally. You know, like, bro, I don't remember the last time I used a filter other than black and white, bro. Why? Why do I need freckles? I already have them. And
Well,
if,
right there, like, how do people get comfortable in their own skin if they don't accept who they are?
right. And I mean, you have no choice. Like, I understand, bro. Like, there are parts about me I don't like. That I don't wish, but it's like, bro, if it was perfect, but it's even saying that, it's like, bro, quit bullshitting, because I'm so comfortable. But one thing I can say, bro, is I always used to want to be 6 feet, bro. 6 feet. Want to be 6 feet, bro. I'm
Yeah.
5'9". I want to be 6 feet, bro. But at this point, it's like, bro, I'm 5'9". I've been this for a while, bro. Like, I think I stopped growing in like high school, middle school, bro. Like, I thought I was about to be. But it's just, the things like that you can't change. And what's
Yeah.
even more messed up is people feel bad about things they can change. which is the
Mm,
most hurtful for me because it's like, you can actually go change that just by putting a little bit of effort in. It might be simple, like you said, the thing, like the life, the keys to life, the path is simple, but it's not easy though.
yeah.
You know.
Ooh, I kind of like to push back on that because it's a perspective game, like and this
Yeah.
comes where it's, there's those that make mountains out of molehills and those that see mountains and are just like, that looks fun. It's really just how you see the world. And ultimately,
Yeah.
I've found that it really just depends on how you see yourself. Like, do you see yourself worthy of those changes?
Mm,
Do you see yourself strong enough? Do you love yourself enough? Because, like, I
mm,
mean, I know one of these things is, and it's kind of been a viral stuff that's gone around. It was like there's a bunch of different magazines that were just like, obesity is in, or like fat is in, no fat shaming, this. It's like, okay,
mm-hmm.
yeah, no one, I don't really know anyone who believes in shaming fat people all the time. But to
Right.
be like, fat is healthy, and that was literally like a tagline to me, I'm like, that's setting people up for failure, especially
Yeah.
with all the coronavirus stuff being like, that's like one of the next to vitamin D deficiency. That's like the highest comorbidity, like relation with catching COVID and getting like hospitalized or dying from COVID, is like being
Mm-hmm.
obese. And it's like, no, like loving yourself means you have to kind of ask yourself these tough questions. Am I making the right choice here? Is this healthy for my body? Like, people don't like what you're saying,
Yes.
400 trillion to one. Like, do you really love this body you were gifted with?
Right. Bro, I ask myself that all the time, every time I crack a Hennessy, you know? Like why? I mean, literally, bro, literally, dog. Like, I did nightlife, bro.
Yeah.
The nightlife scene. I did that for a few years, bro, and we had it
Mm,
popping. I mean, it was lit, bro. But like you said, the things that we do to our bodies sometimes is like, bro, do you really care about that? We get
mm,
attached to the instant gratification, maybe, or like you said, maybe the self-worth isn't all the way there. That's like literally the conclusion I came to, bro. Was you know the only reason that I continue to drink on occasion. I'm not an alcoholic, but to drink on occasion is because I don't value. Uh, I better just say it. I don't value life how it is in those moments. When
mm.
I'm like, oh, I got to turn up to do this. Maybe you just don't like bowling, bro. You know, like maybe you don't like going to the club. Yeah, if you gotta be tipsy to do something, you gotta take a drink to do something. You might want to reconsider doing that. And that's something I literally,
Wow.
bro, last week, bro. I thought about this, and so it's crazy that we're here. But it's a transparency, bro. Like there's very little things I won't share on the internet. We're here, but I do select my audience though, bro. Just some people aren't ready. But
Ooh,
and
that's
are they though?
truthful.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. Um
Are they though? No, some people are not ready.
I
I've learned that one the hard way. Like,
ditto. But yeah, it's about self-worth.
and I guess that comes back to the state of like, are you reacting or are you responding? Like, I see them as
Mm,
huge differences, and
mm,
that's a powerful one
yeah.
right there.
So I've never actually heard it put like that. So reacting or responding. So reacting is out of control and responding is calculated.
Yeah, like the conscious awareness of
I
it and being
like
like,
that.
thanks.
Ooh.
Yeah, feel free to sticky that one up there.
Exactly. Let's see.
Well, because again, like, and I bring it back to like, the opportunity of really working with kids. I find that's one thing that every person, how we used to have to do like community service hours and all that other stuff.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like in order to graduate high school, you have to have like a year's worth of time working with children that are like kindergarten to like third grade or fourth grade, because that's the really perfect window to see all the same manifestations that you're starting to exhibit full blown as like a young adult in children. And that's where you
Yeah.
get off that reaction responding path where it's like, man, there's so much to learn from kids, and even like raising kids that, whew, you realize how messed up, how many, I guess I'll put it this way. You realize how many conditionings you soaked up from your family, from your surroundings, from your environment,
Yeah.
those experiences. Well, I'm curious to tap into fatherhood with you because I find that that's kind of I didn't really realize it until much later in life, but the kind of role of children and the adults really changed and transformed, and we've kind of lost touch on what it really means to like have kids and like raise kids. And for me, it was recognizing the same behaviors I saw when I was mentoring like some kindergartners and like first graders, and literally hearing them talk the exact same way, like my parents, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, like that same type of like reactionary like mannerism, where I was just like Jimmy Neutron brain blast, essentially, just like so many different avenues. It's like, this is
It's all
intense.
coming together.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But it made me recognize where I was like, wow, like we do pass on that generational pain and trauma, and the role of the child is to really help out the ancestors and nip it in the bud, to transform it into something different. So, like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that, and like bringing life into this world?
Bro, well, so we got a 9-year-old now about to be 10 over here at the house, and bro, it's harder than it looks. Like we talk all this stuff, and it's funny, like it's bringing me back down. It's like I just try to be as transparent with her too, and I think that's important for kids to be transparent with their, or for parents to be transparent with their kids
Mm,
in, the way that this is this is how I lived life, this is how I live life, this is how I want to live life, and
yeah.
then there's these phases and these it takes planning, it takes action, it takes
Mm,
strategy, you know. You got to be careful about who you're around. It's a lot, bro, and I think it is different with girls and boys. I don't have any
mm.
sons yet. Speak that into existence. Um, but just letting them discover themselves, but
Ooh,
also letting them know, like, you don't have to discover everything for yourself, because I've seen pretty much everything. you
yeah,
know if it's something that you have a second guess about, just ask us first. And I feel like we have a pretty dope, like, transparent relationship right now, where she feels comfortable talking to us about things, and I love
yeah.
that, and I hope that continues, because, like you said, starting things early, I don't want to get too graphic, but I don't want her to grow up to be the same type of girl that I was talking to growing up. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
um
that's
you
real,
know
bro.
yeah, so just treading lightly, bro, and like you said, listening. Kids, bro, are amazing. They know so much. I mean, because they're humans, they have these brains, bro. They're
Yeah.
humans. Like, we call them kids like it's a separate thing.
Just little
you know
beings.
they're little adults, they're younger adults, like youngest adults. Like, there's young adults, and then there's youngest adults. They're the youngest
I
adults,
love
because,
it.
man, sometimes I'll be like she'll say something, and I'll be like, damn, she's right. Okay. I'm like, well, don't you have some homework right now? And then I'll go do what she said. You know, like, you gotta maintain the authority.
Oh,
But
that's great.
I do acknowledge, though. Like, all jokes aside, I do say, man, you know what, you're right. I do acknowledge that, bro, because it's not like you're
Yeah.
you're you're relinquishing your parental authority. Like, nah, bro, I'm empowering her.
Yeah.
I'm not relinquishing anything. I'm still dad. What do you mean? I'm not relinquishing anything, but I'm letting
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
know that her thoughts matter, her perspective
Facts.
matters,
Yeah.
and it's powerful. Regardless. I don't have to agree with everything you say. She doesn't have to agree with everything I say, but to be able to have a conversation about it and come to an understanding, that's everything.
Ooh, that really is incredibly powerful, because I feel like a lot of us come from this generation where our parents were raised in that style of like children should be seen, not heard. And I know for myself personally, just not being able to feel comfortable and trusted, and trusting in, the people who I'm talking to, that they're actually going to hear me for where I'm at, or ask the questions that I'm going to ask, and not get like punished for it, or like just, like coming at or invalidated for it. So even
Yeah,
just respecting her perspective and thoughts is so important, because when you lose that bridge of trust, then now that youngest adult is truly doing their own adulting on their own and getting into those
right.
situations and decisions. And I like, man, that's
That's
so
exactly what happened
important.
to me, bro.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Like
Like,
attracts like.
that's real. Like, if you know history, you'll be able to mold it. But I don't like the history repeats itself thing. I don't like that. But if you know your history, though,
Yeah.
you'll be able to change the history, our
And that's,
story.
yeah. Well, I think it comes back to that point where whatever you don't know, it's it has the chance of coming back around, where, you know, it's like if you don't learn from the past histories, you're going to repeat it. And I think that's one of the biggest things too, where it's, and this goes across all ethnicities, is like you go like 2 generations up, you know, secrecy was a huge thing, like family shaming, family secrets. It's like everyone had their own stuff and their own stories before these days, that like there's so much just lost knowledge that's just gone from existence. And so just for the listeners out there that are wondering, it's like there's a lot of things that we can tap into. And that's what I think it's cool when you talk to somebody who's on this path of self-mastery is, you know, you're coming to really unfold and just tap into something that like people don't even know about yet, and be a leader in this journey of upliftment of like humanity, and ending the sheeple era.
Yeah, no, seriously. And I do truly appreciate, that, you're doing this, and yeah, I could be
Likewise,
talking
man.
about, my businesses and stuff and things I'm doing, right? Monetary things I could, but I think that this is important, bro, for people to understand me and who I am, because people know me from all these different aspects, from, playing sports, from going to school, from, partying, whatever,
Yeah,
working with the community, business partners, all of that. And so I think it's important for people to really understand, who I am, bro, and why I think the way I think, because I got a lot of things on the horizon, and I don't want to surprise people. I don't want to offend people, but I also don't want to stray away from being genuine, bro.
yeah,
So something like this is going to be helpful, bro, because, then I can just do me.
yeah.
I don't have to worry about, I don't even worry about marketing and stuff like that, bro. Like I do, because that's what we do, is marketing. But it's really about authenticity, bro. What are you trying to, what story are you trying to tell? What are you trying to
Mm.
convey to the people?
Well, right there too is, you know, you build a community based upon your own authenticity. And when you withhold things from yourself and the world, how are you ever going to be aligned with people that actually vibe with you?
Bro, you won't,
Like, exactly. That's how I feel, yo.
you
It's
know?
crazy. Like, well, for yourself in community building, like, what's one of the most important things you look for in the communities that you're trying to help impact in some of the, like, the different work you do with nonprofits and all that?
The most important thing is, what's the word, like excitement, or
Mm,
somebody that's eager to do something, not somebody that's like, bro, I need help, show me how to do this, like a kid that wants the answers but doesn't want to know how to do it, the
yeah,
youngest
yeah,
adult,
yeah,
excuse me.
yeah.
That, just give me the answer, bro. Like, I don't want to understand. Like, so people that are really like, yo, like, I want to do this. But really about community
Mm.
organizations, because the question you asked was kind of a two-part question. Community
Yeah, I
organizations,
loaded.
yeah, there's no way, bro. Like be real, a real organization that's trying to really help the community. If
Yeah,
I can get behind what you're doing, I do look for people that are excited and eager to do things, because it's easier to work with people like that. And when it comes outside
yeah,
of organizations, bro, like business partners, throwing an event, doing something like this, partnering with somebody, uh, I gotta imagine myself, bro, sipping in an umbrella drink with them. It could be a virgin drink for you, Peter.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
sipping in an umbrella drink, bro, chilling on the beach. If I could see myself basically being cool with you and kicking it with you on a casual basis, of course there's the formal stuff, but on a casual basis, I'll work with you, because I
Yeah,
don't want to work with somebody that I just don't vibe with, bro. I don't want to
yeah.
use the word I don't like, because I don't dislike anybody. I just like certain people more than other
Mm.
people. you know, bro, fact.
Kind of a real point.
You can't, dog. Nobody can agree with that, bro. If anybody tells me they like everybody, bro, I'm like, bro, you are the fakest person I've ever met.
Right?
Everybody, I don't see color, bro. I don't judge anybody, bro. We all judge, bro. It's just a matter of how you display it, if at all.
Mm.
If at all, bro. You don't have to tell everybody how you feel all the time.
And that's a powerful one right there, because it's like, yeah, everyone has the authority and the right, because you're the creator of your reality. You see the world how you see it, but are you going to act on that? And this is where it comes back to that assumption expectations. Like, I always try to stress this point to people, because it's like, it's the root of all suffering. Your assumptions lead to judgments, and your expectations lead to letdowns. Like,
Mm,
boom, right
mm.
there is like, that covers the umbrella of all the suffering that we experience, because it's like, if you just see people for how they are, and I guess I could put it this way. I like to let people reveal their hands. You know, it's kind of like that
Yeah.
defensive sports mode where it's just like, all you got to do is just kind of shadow it. They're going to make the mistake. You just got to keep to your fundamentals. So it's like, yeah, I'll stay within my lane. I'll be polite and cordial. But when you say something that crosses the line with me, I'm just like, cut.
Bro,
Next.
exactly. See. So we're a little bit different when it comes to that. Like, so when I meet somebody, I'm more aggressive. Like, I'm like in attack mode. I'm on offense, bro. I try
Oh,
get them
interesting.
riled up a little bit, get them riled up a little bit, get them excited. You know, like, oh, okay, I want to talk about this. I want to prove them wrong, or I want to prove them right, or I want to tell them about what I do. Like, ask a question or something and get them riled up, excited, right?
Yeah.
And then I let them talk. And if they say something I disagree with, I'll
Mm.
say, why? Why do you think that way? I want to know why. Because cutting them off is it's if I don't like their reason why, oh, they're cut off. But I got to be curious first, because I've cut people off that like offended me, or I thought that they was wrong, and I realized like I just didn't understand what they were trying to say. You know, where communication was a little off. You know, so I'll be like, oh, okay. Why is it that you think ABC? You know, and then I'm hoping that they can communicate that deeper, but you know, just really just getting that understanding. Now if they say something that's completely off the wall, like, you know, you're talking to Ted Bundy or something like that, get up out of there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, snip gone. Yeah. You know, but for in general, I do like to talk to people and figure out, you know, who are you?
Well, see, that's interesting right there, because I guess my natural mode of existence is very playful, and like I'm a talker. I mean, if you couldn't tell, like,
No,
so
you
it's
look so
like,
uncomfortable in this situation.
right. So it's like if they're like not able to like keep up with the conversation, or they just like go surface level. I think that's one of the most common things nowadays is people just don't love to engage and learn from someone else. And like ultimately, like, I see life as a puzzle piece, you know, or life as a puzzle where it's like you're a piece of the puzzle, I'm a piece of the puzzle, Rusty's a piece of the puzzle, everybody in existence is a piece of the puzzle. And if
Yeah.
you want to actually create the image of life, you have to gain information from other people. You have to share puzzle pieces, and it's like, here you go, here's mine, here's your little trade. You know, we were trained from this with
Yes.
all the crazy weird
Yes.
games we had as kids.
Bro, like little Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh trade, bro. I
Exactly,
like that. I
exactly.
like that perspective, bro. That's dope.
So it helps with these types of conversations, but I find that a lot of people just don't want to hear others to even expand their own. Because again, it comes back to that like combative aspect where it's like they see everything as combat. They try to always one up stuff. They always try to diminish your opinion because it somehow infringes upon theirs, and they forget that fundamental aspect of like we're both beings. Oh man, Eric, I'm loving this conversation thus far. We're definitely going to keep this going, so stick around, and viewers, tune in for the after show. Take care.
Please
Thanks
do.
for joining.
That concludes this episode of Creatives Chat. Thank you for watching. Join us every Thursday at 3:33 p.m. Pacific Daily Time as creative minds get together and chat about who knows what. View more episodes on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again to our sponsors for making this show possible. Thank you, We Are Historically, for your conscious human apparel. Shop online at wearehistorically.com.
Hi, I'm Darius Wilrich. I'll teach you everything you need to know about playing jazz piano like a pro with my 12-week online video course and downloadable guidebook, Jazz Piano Pro Essentials. Enroll today at jazzpianopro.com.
Thanks for joining us. Have a happy always.